It's May 29th, 2022. I'm gonna try to eat this. Hopefully it's not molded. Does not feel good. Oh, I got some still. That could be worse. I had a couple little baby tortillas. I had ended up donating those ones that I purchased just because, like, there was a lady that had a child in need, so I gave her them. So these are all the little tortillas that I had left. It's very soft. Uh-oh. It is very crusty on the outside there. I'm making a mess already. Doesn't taste the greatest. Like it's gone bad. I'm still gonna eat it though. Because it does have a weird aftertaste. I gave away a lot more of my stored food than I had thought I did. It's very soft. Too soft. Hope it doesn't make me sick. It wasn't organic, so there's also a difference with the way that they react with age. A lot of that avocado that went to waste. I have a napkin right here. I don't prefer microwaving things though. Beggars can't be choosers. Or can they? Sure we can. Decided to try this. Hopeful that it'll be tasty. I had to heat it up a little longer than I had anticipated because I already used hot water. I thought that would do the trick, but I had to microwave it a lot more and continually add more water. Right, pretty decent consistency though. I poured some of my water into that bottle. Some of the water from the gallon. I hope everybody else is having a good Memorial Day weekend. I like this. Tastes really good. I'd totally try this again. Kind of makes me wish I'd bought more of them, because by tomorrow, I'm not sure how I'm gonna feed myself essentially with that $10. I saw all those books at the bookstore. I posted them on Instagram, and I thought that one was hilarious about like how to talk to girls, because it was almost spot on. 98% of pretty girls dump boys, and 73% of normal girls. That's funny. Dump boys. I saw that. I thought it was hilarious, so I took pictures of it and posted it on the Instagram because it was so funny. And then I wish I had something else to eat, like actual food. Like, I mean, this is food, I get that, and I know I overconsume. That's enough calories, I guess, but let me see. 200 calories for that. 2 tortillas. Excuse me, 70 calories. That avocado, I don't know. Maybe 100 calories or so. 200, maybe at the most. And then I was probably gonna go ahead and heat this up right now and eat it. See how that's... See how tasty that is. Ugh, the top of the can's all gross. It's been sitting in my car too long. I want someone to take care of me. I'm tired. I just want a nap. And I was watching videos about the baby and everything. 26 weeks. I'll be 27 weeks come Friday. And I'm like, oh my God, where's the time gone? It's already 6 months along, and I'm like, it was just yesterday when all this happened, it seemed like. And I don't know what to say or do anymore. I really don't. I don't know who to reach out to or to go. Where, you know, where am I going to find resources? They don't accept me in like the substance abuse and domestic violence shelters because there's like, I don't know what's wrong with that. It's really weird. So I haven't reached out to look for anything. Some of the people were nice and gave me some information online, but I'm still nervous about trying to reach out. It's very hard to. And people are like, you just don't place effort into it. No, I do. Mostly to avoid people. I don't understand what's going on. And he keeps moving around. I gained 20 pounds for 2 pounds of baby. What the hell? Ugh. So weird just being homeless and like trying not to look homeless. I sat at the mall for a while at the concession or whatever, like the food court area, and oh, excuse me. Yeah. So I sat there for a little while, and I didn't really walk around or anything. There's nothing really I have to do. There's nothing really I can do aside from just resting and waiting for this thing to pop out, not knowing what's going on, not knowing who to trust, not knowing where to go. I'm pretty discouraged by all of this. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect to be like pregnant and alone. I thought at least if I were to get pregnant again, I could harass the father constantly, make him do things for me, like go get me cups of water. Feed me. That was only when I had assumed I was worth marrying. I realize now I'm not worth anything. That's what happens. You get discouraged and you just realize that the world is against you, and it's because you weren't raised in one of those nice families. You were raised in trash. So you are trash, Forky. So I don't know what else to do. I don't know where to go. There's so many people that I meet face to face and they say things, and you know, I want to reach out, like to ask for help from people I meet face to face, like even the people that prayed for me at the park yesterday. And then I talked to a guy with like a golden doodle and like a retriever, and he chatted with me. He was an older gentleman. He telling me about the renovations he was making on his house and how he has like a girlfriend. He was like in his 60s, 50s, 60s. I would presume somewhere in his 60s because he had dentures. But yeah, when we were striking a conversation, he seemed like he wanted to go on and on and on. And then finally I was just like, because he had mentioned something about, well, where am I going and everything, and I finally just said the truth. I live in my car. And I know that might be dangerous to some people to be like, oh, you can't tell people like you're there at that park, like you might frequent it or whatever. No, what's the difference, you know? What's the problem? They're probably never going to see me again anyway. So, and so I just don't care anymore. I really don't. I figure what'll happen will happen, and then hopefully I'll just disappear, you know? It's not a whole lot that I live for anymore. Once my daughter was taken, you know, in that way, and I realized there was no assistance to help with something like that, then I realized the world was really fucked. The world was really dangerous, and I don't know where to go. I don't know how to be. I don't know how to live. I don't know how to, and of course you can blame my parents for that, you know, understanding that they didn't support me. They would rather support their sons. And my sister knew that from the very beginning too, you know, that she had to kiss their ass in order to get any type of support for her and her children. I didn't want to go that route. I don't want to go that route for anything. So I just tell people, if you want to donate, that's cool. If not, it's none of my business. And hopefully I can get out that money by Tuesday, like that I can make some gas money off of it. Like I said, I have to spend $20 of whatever I get out of an overdraft, and then it's still going to be like I'm still not in good standing with anything. And I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm not even taking anything. I'm not, you know, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So, like, where am I supposed to get more money? Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. And I don't want to go down that dark route of, like, selling myself and all this and that. That seems really dark. And so I just feel like, oh my God, what the fuck is going to happen with me? Where am I going to go? Like, I reached out to religious groups. I reached out to this and that. Where do I fit then if I'm not anywhere? Am I just in between? And is that why I'm just slipping through the cracks of any type of help? And that makes perfect sense, because that happens to a lot of people. And I was even watching a documentary that, you know, from 2 years ago, that it was a news broadcast where the military man was, what is the word? Discharged. And it stated on there that the discharge, he didn't serve overseas. So they didn't credit him with any of that. They didn't credit him with serving those like 7 years overseas and whatever, and he didn't get the honors that he deserved. And then, like, it took him time of fighting for it and contacting the right people in order for them to correct that for him, and for him to get the awards for others, as well as more awards for himself, for serving honorably. So I thought that was really interesting, that, you know, even with their own, they misfile paperwork all the time. Even with their own, they do all kinds of crazy, and that's really sad. Like, how can you do that to the people that you say that you care for? That you know what I mean? It makes no sense. And that's what makes me realize that I'm even less on that totem, like further down on that totem pole, because I haven't served in anything. I haven't offered my blood, sweat, and tears in an actual government position in that way, or working for the government. So, like, there's a huge difference. I know there's a lot of nepotism and everything, but I just think that, you know, a lot of these things could be avoided if people had some semblance of humanity left in them. But that doesn't happen very often. A lot of people just go crazy and they just start doing all these kind of crazy things. I just pray for all those people, the vets and everything like that, and the people, you know, that we should honor for having served. But also, too, the fact that you kill little kids overseas just because it's a different culture, I don't agree with that. Not at all. Like, I know you're told to do these things, but can you just maybe not? And then you won't end up with all the psychological scars afterward. Like, that's what you do to people in the military. All you do is cause them to have PTSD, and that's it, because they're forced to do things that they don't want to do. They're forced to know things they're not, you know, don't want to know. Didn't realize that everything was so corrupt around them and the systems above them. And then no wonder they go crazy, and no wonder they take it out on civilians. It's insane. So, I'm like, no, that's how I feel. Like, they took out their frustration having sex with me, and that's it. Like, that's all they did. And they didn't give a shit about me as an individual. They just saw me as one of those that, like, better off dead. You know, I'm homeless, I'm whatever. At least Thomas tried to invite me to stay with him, but I did not feel safe. I did not feel comfortable going up there to go and hang out with him again after he had done what he had done. Sure, a part of me, the animalistic, primitive part, enjoys sex, enjoys that comfort of being held in that one moment, but that's all it is. It's just a moment, and then they're not there to help or take care of you after the trauma of the sex. For me, it's traumatic. I don't know about everybody. Some people are like, oh no, I like it. Like, I don't know. I always feel shameful afterward, and I guess it's just because, and it's not even from the words of the Bible, it's because of the fact that I have a very high moral code, and I don't appreciate when people are doing really shady, fucked up shit, and I don't mind disclosing that to other people. Why do I care? There's no reason for me to lie about these things. There's no reason for me to degrade myself by harboring somebody else's secrets in that way. No, thank you. If they're secrets, then there's a reason for it. This woman is sitting here. She's got like a 10-year-old boy with her, and she's over there. She's got little bottles of alcohol in her purse, and she's all fucked up. And even when she turned the corner, she thought I was her son for a moment, and then she wandered off across the way so she could go drink her bottles. Tiny little shots of alcohol and whatever else drugs she's on. And she still has her son. Look, he's right there. I'm seeing them. They're sitting outside of a Best Buy right now, right here on the corner. And she's over here getting drunk and shit. And do you think that's good for the kid? Probably not. She's probably a prostitute. Who knows? That's how people make their money. But that's not the lifestyle I want for my son. It's like a foreshadowing of what the fuck events will happen if somebody doesn't step up to own up to their responsibilities. This poor kid, what the fuck? And no wonder. I would feel ashamed too. I would feel ashamed to have a mother like that. It reminds me of my ex-husband and his mother. What? And then people talk down to me. There was one comment on the Instagram feed, and it was some very southern, you know how they are, very frumpy and gross and don't know their own boundaries and stuff, so that's why they talk shit, because they don't know how to maintain themselves. So this jealous woman was saying something about, whatever angle you choose, you're still a terrible mother or something, and I'm like, are you looking in the mirror? I'm sorry, are you okay? Are you alright? Because I know for a fact that there are plenty of people that would vouch for me being a great mother, and actually those are people that have documentation of it, that are in a field, like I said before, about when Change Point would come, or not Change Point, they have record of my parenting classes and everything, but also Healthy Connections, where they kept track of all the weeks and everything, how I was being a wonderful mother to my kid, always doing all the good things for her, reading to her and everything, to maintaining. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, there goes the side pony. How old is this woman? She's got to be my age or older. I don't know. She moved from right next to my car because she could hear me talking to myself about my life. And then I started talking about the military men and everything, and then she just got up and left because she didn't want to hear it anymore. Nobody likes to hear any of my positive talk either here on this plane, when I tell them about stuff like, okay, yeah, this is what happened, and it's negative for some people, but it's positive for other circumstances, like understanding psychology, the psychology behind things, but nobody wants to hear it. They're always in denial of their own flaws, and they don't want to make any alterations in their lifestyle that would help them, benefit them physically and mentally. So, I don't know. That's why I just don't mind talking shit about anybody anymore, because at first, I was fat and frumpy. I had nothing to say. But now, I lost 155 pounds. You can't say shit to me. You have no idea. It only took a couple years to do it and everything. And you're going to, no, nobody's going to say anything to me. I've been through some hardships, and I've been through this and that. And it's not even just about the weight loss. It's about overall the abuse that I've sustained and still managed to stay upright in an appropriated manner. Something that's not normal for people. How often do you see someone that is in my position that is not on drugs? Straight up hardcore drugs. And that, those women that were backing me up, about the medicinal marijuana when I'm, pregnant. It's none of anybody's business. It helps me from killing myself. And in turn, that means the baby's gonna succeed in that way. And I already know, if everything turns out as it should, that things are going to go well. And I pray that everybody gets, the help that they need for trying to harass me, because that's exactly what it is. Like, there's so many people out there that need mental help, like, help with their mental health, and they don't seek it because they would rather pinpoint problems on other people. And that's why I tell everyone about casting the first stone. Like, you've sinned plenty of times. You've sinned against yourself and God, and that's the issue. And yourself is God in that way. Like, if you're not taking care of your teeth, if you're not taking care of your health, if you're not doing this and that, that's a sin against God in that way. God gave you these features so that you could maintain them, so that you could have them till the rest of your life, and you're taking advantage of them, and you're not appreciating them. No wonder things get taken from us. So the same thing, I felt like maybe in that point of the depression and the divorce and everything, I was kind of neglecting Tara in that way by sleeping too much. And that's where I felt like, okay, maybe that's why I faltered. Like, I had years of prolonged just psychiatric medications after that, Xanax and this and that, where I was so fucked up that I was just like wallowing in the shame and pity and sorrow for those years, just continually. I couldn't manage. Now, at least with the medicinal marijuana, I've got something to look forward to. I smoke, and then I see cute, fluffy things, and that gives me an incentive to keep going. And like food too. Like I said, I'm very food driven. I'm very much like a pet. Like, I tell people too, like, don't feed me or I'll keep coming back. Like, it's just like a feral cat. So, I tell everyone, like, these things are just kind of funny and silly, but it's the honest truth about me. Like, there's nothing I want to hide. There's nothing I want to not disclose. What's the purpose of that? Why should I hide things? Even if it were to tell people, the wrong people, the ones that want to hurt me, the honest truth. Good. If you want to do that, go ahead. Like, then that's on you and your karma. That's on you and your soul. I don't care. Like, I'm just being a good girl over here, like, trying my best. And then people talking about human trafficking or whatever, like, good, I'll call them out. Hey, I'm over here. Like, try me for real. So, but yeah, that's why nobody can get that close to me to, usually I stay away from all the offers. Usually I stay away from every offer, essentially. So even meeting up with Jason at that time, it was sort of just a fluke, because I felt like, okay, finally the guy said he wanted to cuddle, so it was a reason to go up that way, because otherwise I wouldn't have gone up that way. If somebody wouldn't have said there's another incentive behind going up and meeting this asshole, then I wouldn't have gone up to meet him. So everything was just circumstantial. I told Jason about that. That was the strangest coincidence in that way, and he just ignored it. He didn't want any reason to delve into our personal lives. Instead, he just wanted what he wanted, and he wanted me to disappear. So, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to him, because he feels all that pain. When I feel very sad, he moves around all really weird in my uterus, and I can tell that I'm making him uncomfortable. I can tell that my emotions are forcing him into a state of discomfort like that. It's very sad. I know that he's hurt. This baby is very hurt by what the father has done, because I'm hurt by what the father has done. So those emotions, I can just feel the differences in his movements, to where he slowly stretches when I get really upset, and he's not happy at all. He's uncomfortably moving in there, like, it's really weird. It's hard to explain it, but it's not hard, because some mothers know what I'm talking about. Some good mothers know what I'm talking about. Other mothers that, took for granted the time that they were pregnant and everything. And I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm trying to appreciate it, because even though I'm all by myself, it's, it's still a blessing in that way, to know that I had the opportunity to get pregnant again. And that's very sad, because some people can't have kids. So, and I don't want to give my child to someone that can't have kids like that. Like, maybe there's a reason you cannot reproduce. I know that you're great, you know, with adoption and everything, but God didn't bless you in that way. God blessed me in that way. And if you keep stealing from me, I swear to Christ. So, it's not fair. I've always wanted children. I knew I didn't necessarily need them because I didn't have the financial backing for them. But when I got with my ex-husband and we agreed, and, you know, I would help him through school, and he lied about everything, and then he just took the money and ran. Like, that's the kind of piece of shit he is. And then they just gave my daughter to him. Do you not see the repercussions and giving her to someone that is so devious, you know, deceptive in that way? Yeah. So I would like to eat more. I guess I'm gonna get off of here now that I've spent a half an hour just chatting. Probably am gonna heat this up. I wish I had some hot sauce. I guess I can put some pepper flakes in there at the very least. I don't know what it is. I just want everything spicy right now. I always wanted spicy. I like it spicy. I like it spicy. I like spicy and sweet stuff. I don't really like sour all that much. It's not really, it's okay sometimes, but depending on what it is and if it's not toxic. Like all those gummy products and everything that have that sugar that burns your mouth, that eats holes in my gums and in the inside of my cheeks and everything. So I try to avoid all of that. Very rough stuff, very toxic. I'm gonna go and heat this real quick and pray that nobody bothers me this evening when I park, and just try to be out of everyone's way. I'm just using the restroom. Please don't fucking try to kill me. Don't try to lock me up, because that's gonna kill me. Don't try to do crazy shit at me. It's gonna kill me. Like, I'm just trying so hard. Like, I feel like a gigapet, you know? Like, you have to go back and feed it, and it just took a dookie. And, like, I feel like a gigapet. That's what it feels like. Like, I just have to maintain myself, and, like, here you go, you need more food? Okay, you just took a dookie? Okay. Like, that's all I've got in my life. That's, you know, essentially, that's so hard to just be, like, in between life doing this. I can't believe some of the people that are so talented that they can go through and have an actual career throughout just surviving. But those are a lot of the people that got, you know, benefits to what they have done. They deserve it most of the time, you know. And then there are some that were given it and they take advantage of everything and everyone, and that's really sad. But yeah, hope everybody's having a decent day so far. I need to keep charging my phone. Oops. It'll turn off maybe if I start it up again. Anyway, today is May 29th, 2022. Leticia Collins Servin. I'm trying. I love you. Bye-bye.